Hello and welcome back to Witchy Ways for Modern Days. I'm your host, Brittany, and I am so glad that you are here today with me because today's episode was not part of my, frankly, dozens of topic points that I've had on a list forever. I feel like I need to make this episode now because I have heard this term being thrown around incorrectly a few times over like the past week or so, and that's a few times too many. And especially for people who are trying to settle into their spirituality, who are just starting out on this journey, to misunderstand this term I think would be detrimental to your magic. So I want to go into this because I feel it's important. And if this is not relevant for you, cool, but just bear with me. Give me 10 minutes of your time. And if you're not interested, then you can turn it off at that point. So today's episode is about spiritual discernment. You have probably heard this word dozens of times. Maybe you've heard someone say, well, use your discernment. Maybe you've seen it attached to warnings about spirit guides or tarot readers or energy work on social media, even like on magical products. And sometimes it feels like one of those spiritual buzzwords that everyone repeats, but no one actually sits and slows down and defines it for you. It gets tossed around so often that it almost starts to lose a meaning. So today I want to talk about what spiritual discernment actually is and why it is one of the most important spiritual skills I believe that you can develop, and why it has absolutely nothing to do with being cynical or closed-minded. And I want to talk about how you can strengthen discernment in your own practice, because it is wildly important and not given enough weight for how important it is. The truth is, spiritual discernment is not some advanced psychic gift that is only reserved for experienced witches. It's not a secret ability that is unlocked after 20 years of meditation. It's not a magical superpower that you discover. It is a skill. And honestly, it might be one of the most valuable spiritual skills that you can ever develop. At its simplest, basic level, discernment is the ability to evaluate information, evaluate messages, experiences, teachings, and spiritual encounters without automatically accepting or rejecting them. Now, notice what I just said. Without accepting or rejecting. Without automatically accepting them and without automatically rejecting them. Discernment exists in the space between blind belief and blind skepticism. A person without spiritual discernment will believe everything. A person with wounded discernment believes nothing. Healthy spiritual discernment does live somewhere in the middle. When you hear a spiritual teaching, be it from whoever's mouth, it could be from my mouth, it could be from Marie Bruce, it could be from one of the great magical teachers. Discernment asks questions. You don't blindly accept that things are correct. When you receive a message, discernment needs to observe. When you encounter something unusual, discernment will investigate. When you have an emotional reaction to spell work, discernment becomes curious. It's less about immediately finding answers and more about learning how to pause before deciding what something actually means. Spiritual discernment is a heavy, heavy, heavy weighted intuitive ability. One of the biggest misconceptions that I've seen so often, and I know that all of you, anybody listening, knows what I'm talking about. One of the biggest misconceptions in spiritual communities is the belief that every single feeling is a sign. Every dream you have is prophetic. Every coincidence is a divine intervention. Every animal that crosses your path is a message to you. Every social media post that appears on your feed was sent to you by the universe. That one is very common to see on TikTok. If you're seeing this message, it's meant for you. Could some of these things actually be true and be meaningful? 100% absolutely. But not all of them. And that is where your spiritual discernment comes in. Because having spirituality without discernment can become projection. And we need to fear projection. Because we start assigning meaning to everything. We start forcing patterns where they really aren't any. We start seeing signs that confirm what we already want to believe. And it's a weird intersection where spiritual belief and human psychology become really important to each other. Our brains are pattern recognition machines. They are literally designed to find connections. And sometimes that's wonderful. Sometimes it's magical. Sometimes it's survival. But it also means we can accidentally create meaning in stories that aren't actually there. For example, maybe you have been thinking about an ex and you are driving and suddenly you hear their favorite song. Was that a sign from the universe? Maybe. Or maybe it's a popular song that gets played 20 times a day. Maybe you're considering a job opportunity and suddenly everyone seems to be talking about success and careers. Is that the universe talking to you? Possibly. Or maybe your intention is just focused more on that topic right now so that you're noticing it more. And I want to be really clear because I can hear myself and it might sound discouraging. I don't mean this to be discouraging. Discernment doesn't kill magic. It only asks you to consider multiple possibilities. And real spiritual messages, if they are real and solid, can withstand scrutiny. They don't disappear just because you asked questions. And I think one reason that people struggle with discernment so much is because they're afraid that questioning something means doubting it. But questioning isn't the same thing as dismissing something. Questioning is how understanding can deepen. Imagine someone walks up to you and says they have a message from Spirit just for you. Discernment doesn't immediately say yes, but discernment doesn't immediately say no either. It listens. It evaluates. It feels, it reflects. Does this message this person is telling me resonate with me? Does it align? Does it feel helpful? Does it create clarity? Is it creating confusion? Does it encourage dependency or empowerment? These questions matter, and your intuition is the key here. All right, let's take a quick pause because if you are listening to this podcast, chances are your magic deserves tools that actually meet you where you are. If you aren't already aware, I am part owner of Winslow Naturals, a small, family-owned metaphysical shop creating handcrafted ritual oils, candles, sprays, soaks, and spiritual tools, each one made with intention, experience, and deep respect for the craft. These aren't mass-produced products. Every one of our blends is thoughtfully formulated for real-life magic, whether you're working with deities, doing shadow work, calling in abundance, or just protecting your peace in this chaotic world. I also offer personal tarot readings, aura readings, spirit guide confirmations, distance Reiki, and chakra healing sessions for those of you looking for deeper insight, energetic support, and one-on-one spiritual care. If you're ready to elevate your practice with tools, readings, and healing work from people who truly understand the craft, visit Winslow Naturals at winslownaturals.com or find us on TikTok where we go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if it's your first time ordering, you can use code Witchy Ways to get 10% off your first website order. Because your magic deserves to be supported intentionally ethically, and powerfully. And another place where discernment can become extremely crucial is when dealing with spiritual authority. Because no matter how much I want to say it doesn't exist, fraudulent spiritual teachers are running rampant, especially on social media. But there have always been frauds, okay? And it might be uncomfortable for you to hear. But no spiritual teacher, no reader, no medium, no psychic, no witch, no priestess, no creator should ever replace your own inner knowing. Ever. Not me, not your favorite witchy creator, not your favorite tarot reader, not anyone. If they are a healthy spiritual teacher, they will encourage your spiritual discernment. An unhealthy teacher will discourage it. And I want you to pay attention to that difference. If someone tells you not to question them, that is information. If someone insists that they are always right and they are 100% correct, that is information. If someone claims that they have exclusive access to a particular spiritual truth, that's information. Discernment doesn't mean becoming suspicious of everyone. It just means that recognizing all humans are capable of mistakes and projection and bias and ego and misunderstanding. Even the genuinely gifted ones. Especially the genuinely gifted ones. Being spiritually talented doesn't make someone spiritually infallible. And some of the most spiritually mature people that I have ever seen are the quickest to admit uncertainty. They will tell you things like, this is what I'm sensing, or this is my interpretation, this is my experience. There is humility there, and you need to learn that your discernment should appreciate and love humility. Ego is the thing that tends to hate it. And another place that discernment becomes incredibly important is with spirit communication and deity work. Now, before anyone panics, this is not one of the episodes where I'm going to tell you every spirit you encounter is secretly some sort of trickster or demon in disguise. I think fear-based spirituality creates as many problems as blind belief does. But discernment is still necessary. When you receive a message from spirit, whether it's an ancestor, a deity, an angel, whatever it is, you need to ask yourself practical questions. What is the nature of this message? How does it make me feel? Is it creating fear within me? Is it encouraging healthy action? Does it encourage my growth or demand obedience? Is it flattering my ego? Something I've noticed over the years is that authentic spiritual experiences often have a grounded quality to them. Even when they're powerful, even when they are super otherworldly or emotional, or when they're life-changing, there's always some sense of clarity beneath them. Confusion can happen, certainly, okay? You can use your discernment and still not really know. Again, it's a skill. We develop our skills, we strengthen our skills. So are you going to be great at spiritual discernment right now? Probably not. And that's perfectly fine, and that's perfectly normal. Just remember that all messages that are rooted in manipulation, urgency, fear, superiority, or obsession, they all deserve closer examination. Discernment asks us to look beyond the excitement of receiving a message and actually examine the content of the message itself. And because intuition and spiritual discernment go hand in hand, you really have to focus on this. Our intuition is often described as always being right. Trust your gut, right? And personally, I think reality is more nuanced than that. Your intuition is real, but we need to remember fear is real too. A lot of us have anxiety. Trauma responses are real. Wishful thinking is very real. Sometimes they all sound remarkably similar. One of the greatest acts of discernment is learning the difference between what is your intuition and what is emotional activation. Intuition often feels surprisingly simple. It doesn't usually argue, doesn't usually spiral, it doesn't repeat itself 27 times while we're creating panic. Fear tends to be loud. Intuition tends to feel steady. Fear demands immediate action, and then intuition often remains consistent even as time passes. And that's why slowing down can strengthen your discernment so dramatically too. Many spiritual mistakes happen because people rush to conclusions. They have a dream, and then they immediately assume they know what it means. They pull one tarot card, and then they make a life-changing decision. Scary. They receive some sort of sign, and they completely restructure their reality around it. But meaning often reveals itself over time. One of the most underrated spiritual practices in existence is simply waiting. It's being patient, observing, recording, noticing patterns, allowing information to unfold. You don't have to solve every witchy mystery immediately. Sometimes discernment, good discernment, looks like saying, I'm not sure yet. And that's okay. And actually, that's often just wisdom. Something else that deserves discussion is resonance with this, because people often ask, well, how do I know if a message is meant for me? And this is where discernment and resonance work together. Resonance is the feeling of recognition. It's the feeling that goes hand in hand with discernment. It's that moment when you're like, oh, this matters, this counts. It can arrive emotionally, intellectually, it can arrive spiritually. But discernment reminds us resonance alone isn't proof. Something can resonate because it's true. Something can also resonate, though, because it touches a wound, or it validates some sort of desire within you, or it confirms a fear. So rather than stopping at resonance, we have to go one step further. Why does this resonate with me? What specifically about this message is connecting to me? What is this teaching, message, or experience revealing to me? Deeper questions are where discernment really begins. And social media has made discernment much more necessary than it ever has been before. Every day. I mean, I flip through TikTok. Every day we are exposed to thousands of spiritual claims. This herb does this. This crystal does that. This deity only wants this. This moon phase guarantees that. This is a ritual to cause this outcome. This is a sign that means manifestation is coming for you. This number sequence is a sign that your soulmate's coming. And while some of these claims may have roots in tradition or symbolism or experience, a lot of them are simply repeated because someone else has repeated them. Social media can be an echo chamber. Discernment asks us to investigate before we adopt beliefs. Where did this information come from? Is it supported by tradition? Is it supported by a personal experience, historical sources, community practice, or is it simply circulating because it sounds good? Not every popular spiritual belief is wrong or right, but popularity and truth are not the same thing. The beautiful thing about discernment is that it actually strengthens your spiritual experiences rather than weakening them. Because when you have thoughtfully examined something, sat with a message, reflected on a sign, and you still arrive at the conclusion that it's meaningful, your confidence in your craft will become deeper. It will become more stable, less dependent on external validation. You're not believing something because someone told you to. You're believing because you have developed a relationship with your own understanding. And that's where spiritual maturity begins. Not with collecting more information or buying more tools or learning more correspondence, but with trusting in your abilities to navigate your spiritual experiences thoughtfully. The goal here is not certainty. And that's another misunderstanding. Discernment isn't about being absolutely certain of everything. It's about becoming comfortable evaluating uncertainty. It's about learning how to live inside mystery without being consumed by it. Because spirituality, one of the blessings, I think, one of the best things about spirituality is that it's full of mystery. Some experiences can be explained. Some can't. Some signs are obvious. Some will always remain ambiguous. Some questions will have answers. Others will stay open for you for years. Spiritual discernment helps us remain balanced regardless. We don't need to explain everything. We don't have to believe everything. We simply need to stay curious, because curiosity is one of the healthiest spiritual qualities that you can cultivate. Curiosity is what keeps us learning and engaged in our craft. It keeps us humble. Curiosity keeps us open while still protecting us from becoming gullible. And I think it's the heart of what spiritual discernment is meant to be. It's not skepticism. It doesn't mean judgment. It's not cynicism. It's wise curiosity. It is the willingness to explore without immediately concluding. It's the ability to listen deeply while thinking critically and honoring reason without dismissing your intuition. It's standing where you should be, which is 1 foot in the magical and 1 foot in the practical. And that is where some of the most spiritual and powerful work can happen. Not in the extremes, not in blind faith, not in relentless skepticism, but in that beautiful middle space where wisdom and wonder can coexist. So next time you hear someone say spiritual discernment, I hope it feels less like a vague spiritual buzzword and a little more like an invitation. An invitation to slow down, to observe, to question, to reflect, to trust yourself, to explore deeper before deciding what something actually means. Because discernment is not about becoming harder, it's about becoming clearer. It is not about closing yourself off from spiritual experiences, it's about engaging with them thoughtfully. And the more that you practice it, the more confident you will become, I promise, at navigating signs and teachers and messages and readings and spirit communication and all the countless cool and exciting mysteries that come with walking a spiritual path. Thank you so much for spending time with me for this episode. I hope you stuck it out with me. If you're hearing this, obviously you did. I felt I needed to clear this up and kind of speak my thoughts on the matter. Again, spiritual discernment is one of those things that is not understood properly. And by developing this skill, you will have an amazing amount of growth in your craft, even more than you possibly dreamed you could. So work on this, trust your intuition, but question it at times. I hope that you stay curious and grounded, and you just keep finding your own ways to work with your own magic in this very chaotic modern world. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, friends. Blessed be.